I better find your loving. I better find.
Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel, and if you are new, welcome to my channel. And for today's video, I have such a fun video for you guys to make, and if you guys are beginners, this will be the perfect project for you guys to start on. So right here I included a picture of this chart, the hook sizes and yarn weights, just so you guys are familiar with which ones to be using together. When we do build the chains, we are going to be doing it in counts of 4. So each 4 chains is going to be the whole space for the heart stitches. So let's say you want to have 7 hearts across, so you would chain 28 stitches plus 2, and the plus 2 will be the height for the single crochet row to be built. Okay, so let's get started. In order to make a slip knot, first we're going to hold this yarn with our this finger right here in our thumb. So you hold it right here, and then you just measure the amount of yarn you want to use for the slip knot just by doing this with your finger as much as you can go up. Now you put 2 fingers under the yarn. You lift some of the yarn from this side right here, not this side. You lift some up, you twist your fingers down, and then with these 2 fingers right here, you pinch the yarn, pull it through, and now you pull it like this. So the knot right here is secure and tight, and now you hold on to this end right here, this end, you pull it, and now you put your hook through. You grab onto the end right here and you pull this side so that it can be the size of the hook, but you don't want to pull too tight so the stitch is not too tight. We're going to start with the chain. Now make sure your tension is not too tight here. Now I will give you an example of what it looks like when it's loose and when it's tight. This does not count as your first chain. This does. Number 1, loose. Number 2, loose. Tight tension. See how it took like some force to get out? You see how it's smaller? Example number 2, tight tension. Really small chain. And this is it compared to these. So you can like clearly see the difference here. So, and this loop right here does not count as a chain. Only these do. Now you see how I'm doing it? I put the hook under the yarn, I pull through, it's pointed downwards. You don't want it pointed up because if it's up, you can't really pull it through. Can't pull it through, you see that? Under the yarn, pull through, and I will go all the way up to 26. Now, after you do this plus 2, you do 1, 2, 3, take the hook, point it downwards, and make sure you put it in the top. Don't put it on the bottom. Twist the hook like this. Make sure the hook is pointing downwards at an angle, and you just pull it through this chain right here, and you pull it up nice and tall. And now you put this hook under the yarn, down and in. So now once we have our first stitch right here, you want to make sure it's nice and loose, okay? Don't make it too tight. So when you're doing it, make sure you don't put the same stitch in the same one right here. 1, 2. And these 2 right here do not count. Now we're gonna continue doing it all the way across. I like to hold this loop right here so it doesn't go anywhere, slide anywhere. Okay, so now that we have gotten to the last stitch, we're going to do the same thing. single crochet, pull it up, pull through. Now we're going to chain 2, pull 1 chain, chain number 2. Now we twist our work. You see how I'm doing it? We twist. So this will be row number 2. So now row number 2 will be the same thing. Put the hook in between right here. Every time you see a V, this is a stitch. This is number 1. Put your hook through and you pull up and you pull through. Now you're just going to repeat it for every single stitch. So now we are at the last stitch. We're just going to single crochet like normal. So this is not part of it. So we're going to put the hook right here. Make sure it's under both of these 2 lines. And just single stitch like normal. Now we are going to do this again, but differently. So chain 2, 1, 2, turn. Now you see 1, 2. We're going to put the stitch right here. So we're going to single crochet like we have been doing for this in this row. So you skip this and you put the stitch right here. Because we are skipping 1, we are going to chain 1 after every single crochet we do, okay? So here we skip this. Let's go in here. Let's make a regular single crochet and chain 1. You can't forget that chain 1. It will make stitches come close together instead of having this space for it to breathe. Okay guys, now we have 1 stitch left. And instead of chaining 1 now, instead of skipping 1, it's right next to it, right? So we don't chain 1. We just put it right here and we single crochet stitch like normal. So now we are going to chain 3. 1, 2, and 3. Now we turn our work. So this is how your work should look like so far. So now we are going to start with the puff stitches, and the reason we left space right here for the puff stitches to go in here. Here is the 2 chains that we did. Here's the space. So you put your finger here, 1. We skip this space, 2. We skip this space, 3. So now that we have all 3 of our rows completed, we are going to loop the hook under the yarn and we're going to put it through this space right here. Ding, pull, and pull up really high until it matches the height of the 3 chains up all together. So this is your hoop number 1. So now if you want to do more, you can do like 5, 6, depends. It just makes it fatter, or if you want to do it skinnier. But I'm going to do 4 because I like mine to be medium and just enough, you know? So number 2, pull and pull up high. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Now this is number 3, scoop, pull up, and 4. Now I like to pull them up all, and when I put the hook through here, I can know how much to take up, and I just have like more control instead of me doing it like this. You know, it's like kind of harder. So now once you have them all up like this, we have 4, and if you want to make sure, they will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and this one is the 9th one. So you put the hook under the yarn, you pull through all of them. Make sure the hook is not like that, like this, down. After you pulled through all of these, you will do 1, 2. So now after you've chained 2, put the yarn you wrapped around under the hook. You put it through the same space that we just put this puff stitch in. Pull the yarn with it. You pull the yarn at an angle. You pull it up like this so it can be the same as these. So this is number 1, number 2, number 3, and number 4. Make sure these are all nice and tight. You don't want to make sure they're like this. Make sure they're all nice and tight. You see, like that. You see how the hook is pulled downwards? So now you pull through, and now you pull through this one. Now this is number 1, 2. Skip 1 right here, and then we go on to this one, to the other open space. Wrap it around, pull it through, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now pull through all. And if this happens, it's okay, just make sure you. Now 1, 2. Now we do it again. We do 1 in the same stitch right here. So this is how it looks like so far, and I just want to show you guys that now with every stitch we are going to be putting it through each of these holes that I'm showing you guys right now, and you're just going to continue on the pattern. And once you reach the end of it, you're going to be doing a double crochet instead of doing a chain. So you'll wrap your yarn around the hook and put it through this chain that I'm showing you guys right now. You're going to do a double crochet, and that will complete the row. Now we are going to be doing a chain of 2. You are going to insert 1 single crochet in this. You're going to be inserting a single crochet in this stitch right here in this gap, and then moving on for every gap you see, you are going to be doing 2 single crochet stitches in them. Only the first and last stitch get the single crochet stitch, but for all of them you put single crochet stitch 2 times, as I am showing you here in those spaces. Just like we made 24 chains, so now we are going to be making 24 stitches, and we are going to build it up.
Girl, you amaze me, ain't gotta do nothing crazy. See, all I want you to do is be my love. So don't give away my life. So don't give away my life. So don't give away.
So now what we are going to do is just chain 2, and in every gap that you see, you're just going to put a single crochet stitch, and you're just going to continue that all the way down. So after you finish the row, you just do 2 chains, and you just do the same thing because we are doing 3 rows. So once you get to the end here, as you can see, make sure you pull it just enough, the size of half of your finger, and you just snip it. And as you guys can see, do not pull it the other way, pull it upwards. This way it does not unravel all your work. And here, after you are done, you just can pull it up, you can pull it apart just so that all the stitches can move around and stay in their place. So now I will be showing you guys how to weave this end by putting it through this hole that I'm showing you guys. And now you just pull it a little bit and make sure there's enough room for your hook, or if you want to just pull it through with your finger if your strand of yarn is long enough. And now all you do is just pull it tight, and make sure you pull it really tight because you don't want it becoming undone. And now once you pull it tight, you just want to stretch it out just so the fabric can just, you know, loosen up. And now you just want to create another knot with your hands. So after you do the second knot, you also want to make sure you pull it down, and you want to make sure you pull it down close to the other knot so that way it doesn't stick out too much. And this will be your final knot, and make sure you pull it down all the way. So once you have pulled it all the way down, you just want to get your scissors and make sure you cut as close as possible, but not too close to the point where it can't still hold up the knot that you just made. So once you cut it, you just want to push it down and it will just blend in. And now you just want to do the other side, and when you do the other side, you just want to repeat the same thing. You put it through the hole that is closest to the yarn sticking out. So if you guys like this tutorial, make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe, and also share it with other people. Mwah. I better find your loving, I better find your heart, I better find your loving, I better find